Hello everyone! This is Lupilus and welcome back to Planet Zoo, where we are making another habitat speed build today. And today we are going to be focusing on the Okapi. Nothing too crazy for these beautiful animals today. This is quite a simple little build, but I think it looks quite nice later on. So don't forget, if you enjoy the video, feel free to leave a little like, click that little thumbs up. And if you like it even more than just that, feel free to subscribe as well if you haven't already, because, that's always appreciated too. So the Okapi. They are the only living relative of the giraffe. And unlike giraffes, they are actually not found in open savannas, but they instead live in dense rainforest. So of course with this habitat I wanted to focus on the tropical elements of things, but I also wanted to separate the path in a different way than just rock work. I wanted to have a little river going along the path, separating the habitat and the path, so the visitors can have a nice clear view over the little river going along the front of the habitat, and then they got that dense tree line where they have to kind of look a little bit closer in certain areas to try and catch sight of the Okapi. Interesting little fact, the Okapi wasn't discovered by Western scientists until the 1900s. Explorers in the 1880s heard rumours of a striped donkey, and it was named as a species in 1901. That is quite recent compared to how long the Earth has actually existed, so we didn't know about that animal until 118 years ago. But if you think about it, there's still some parts of the Earth that haven't been fully explored, so I'm sure there are plenty more species out there that we haven't even heard of yet, that we haven't even named. I love looking up facts for these animals, I really, really do. I learn so much more about animals that I never thought to read up on before, so it's just great for me and you, because you guys get to learn something while watching the video, and I learn stuff as well. It's a win-win. Anyway, as you can see, I've been doing a little bit of rock work. I'm not taking it all the way along, but I am adding in the usual rock work that I like to do. You can see other habitats in the background that I've already uploaded to YouTube there, that have already got lots of rock work. This one isn't as heavy as some of the other habitats I've done, but I think there's always going to be an element of rock work in my habitats because I love the look of it. I love being able to use it as a barrier, as a natural barrier, and trying to place it down so it doesn't look too man-made, too placed. It's like these rocks here, a little bit of rocks by the river, on each side, nothing too mad, just a little bit of something so it's not just rocks all the way around and no rocks in the middle of anywhere else. I just feel like it doesn't quite make sense because you're going to have a couple of little rocks placed here and there. But honestly, looking back at it a little bit more, I probably could have placed down a few more rocks in the middle there. Nothing too mad, like I said before, just a little bit more, just to break up the land a little bit more. But I do that a little bit later with trees as bushes. Like I like to do that. I like to make the trees into bushes. Well, I do that in this habitat, and you'll see that, and I think it kind of works out quite well. It's not too overcrowded. There's still spacious areas where you can catch sight of the Okapi quite easily. And then the other side is a little bit more dense with forestry and nature, and you'll see me put that together soon. I figure out that I want to just place certain trees on one side more than the other, and vice versa. More palms on the left, more lively, larger trees on the right. That's the plan that I made up as I went along with this, because I wasn't quite sure on tree placement when I first started this. But then I decided that, yeah, I think palm trees on the left, and then a different type of tree on the right, a couple of different types of trees on the right more so. Alright, if I don't stop myself from talking about the foliage now, I'm probably going to continue to ramble about it, so let's have another fact. Okapi are solitary and territorial. They have scent glands on their feet that spread sticky tar-like territory markings. These markings will alert others of their region. Males also mark their territory with urine. On rare occasions, Okapi join together to eat in small groups. During this time together, the Okapi may groom each other and play together, so that's quite sweet. So even though they're quite solitary, they do have moments where they will come together, so I think that's quite nice, that is quite nice. And it works out quite well because this habitat has two different sections if you think about it. I mean, it has one side where it's a bit more clearer, less trees going around, then you got the other side which is more crowded. If they wanted, these two okapi that end up living in this habitat could split off from each other and one live on one side and the other live on the other side, if they wanted to, and then they could meet up for food and then it's all good. Then they can go part ways and then they can meet up again for food, you know, groom each other, you know, maybe even make a baby. And yeah, so they have plenty of room so that they can go their separate ways if they want to. Alright, so of course Okapi needs some hard shelter just in case it rains, and I decided to try and make my own. Now this looks pretty ugly, right? This does not stay this way. I test this out, I put it in the habitat and I'm like, no, it's too big, too square, and it just didn't really fit. If you look at it there, it just doesn't fit anywhere I put it, and it's way too clunky and just way too big and square, like it just did not fit. And they couldn't get into it when I tried to alter it a little bit, put a different kind of door on it, and actually I rounded it as well. But I do end up going with a better structure later on. I figure out what I want to do, and it is quite basic, but it definitely looks better than a square shelter. The roundness of it just fits in a little bit better, and then I put the straw top on, and well, you'll see it in a little bit. It does fit better, I find. Okay, so with the okapi, the tongue can measure between 14 and 18 inches long. And they can actually lick their own ears and eyelids. So, you know you got something in your eye, well, the okapi ain't got no problem with that. They can just lick their eye and get rid of it. And like, we can't do that. We haven't got tongues as long as that. Or if we have, then I haven't seen anyone with a tongue that long. So if you have a tongue that long, congratulations. Oh wow, that would be crazy. Anyway, okapi are herbivores, which means they eat only vegetation. They will reach up into trees with their tongues, pull down a branch and rake off the leaves with their mouths as they let go of the branch. They've also been known to eat twigs, buds, fungi, fruits and other vegetation that can be found in the rainforest's understory. Clay from riverbeds is also important in their diet. The clay gives them minerals and salt that they may not be getting from vegetation. Wouldn't have thought they ate clay. That's quite interesting. Anyway, as you can see here, I'm making another shelter, and as you may have noticed, there are logs underneath the top piece there. I found that it actually doesn't act as hard shelter for these guys. I'm not sure if that counts for all animals, but it does count for these two. So I decided to put those logs underneath to make sure it definitely counts as hard shelter for these animals. Otherwise they're going to have nowhere to go if they want to get away from the rain, because it's all just going to pour through the hay. I guess that makes sense that it wouldn't count as hard shelter now that I think about it. I mean, hay doesn't really, keep out the rain. Okay, so we are just putting in the final touches into this habitat now. Just placing down the bedding and some enrichment items, just a couple of the little bits. I tried to keep the enrichment items as close to the river as possible so that the visitors could have the best view that they possibly could at any point in time when they were using the enrichment items. As well as putting the food in the middle, that also meant that they could come together as okapi and they could feed together right in the middle there, right in front of the visitors. So yeah, it works out quite well. Just making sure everything is in place properly now, and we get to see the okapi in the new habitat. And here they are, our beautiful okapi enjoying their brand new home. This habitat will be up on the workshop, so the link is down below for that if you'd like it in your zoo. And if you'd like to see me do a certain animal on the channel, feel free to comment below with your suggestion. A big thanks to Darcy DeHander for suggesting that I do the okapi, and I'm very sorry if I butchered your name there. I hope I said it as correctly as possible. I do try, but names are not my strong suit. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'm pretty sure the okapi are loving life in this place. There's plenty of room for the two of them. And yeah, they are looking full of life and full of happiness. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you could like, comment, subscribe, share this video, I'd really appreciate that too. And I will see you in the next video. Take care now. Bye bye.